Good morning and welcome back to No Man's Land. I'm Pekamika. It's harvest time. So, as we're going to get started with this stuff, there are a few changes that's been happening on the farm. Let's just get back a bit so I can hear what I'm saying. I removed the grass field over there because it just wasn't good. And I also replaced my tractor because, again, it wasn't good. The reason I needed to replace the tractor was I was tired of doing swathing when I was cutting the grass. And the reason I removed that grass field is because the two other grass fields down at 46 is actually producing enough grass to make me happy, or silage to make me happy. So there is really no point in me swinging up here to cut this grass and then drive all the way down there with a forage wagon and a half of grass to be turned into silage. Cut, swath, collect. It's just too many steps. Even though the reward might be worth it, I still feel like the reward I get from just those fields down there is enough. So if you look over here, I can turn this off so we don't have that worried. It is still processing the grass. It has about 16,000 liters left to process. And that grass there is from those two fields at 46, the tiny little weird looking field that I have up here, and a little bit of the outside. Because the workers, my cosplay setup isn't the best, so the worker is mowing outside of the field. So, yeah. Let's move over here. And this is the new purchases I made. I cut down a ton of trees. You can see it's kind of empty over here. I cut down a lot of trees over there. I cut down a lot of trees back at the farm. Just to be able to afford this stuff. And I also sold the other tractor that I had, the case, because I couldn't attach a front loader. And this complete setup just requires too much power for my starting tractor. So by doing it this way, I am able to actually work here or get the job done. So let's just hire someone to do the job for me. No field fund. So with this setup, I don't need to collect it or swath it. So that's good. Also moved all the stuff in here that well, not all, but most of it. And so I sold the windrowers, the crappy ones, and I also sold the crappy rollers, and I bought this one, which doesn't require too much power to use, and it's like an 8-meter length or width to it, so I can roll the fields much quicker when I plant on it. Right now, I am just going to have the workers do stuff. I can kind of afford it at this time, and I feel like next year I might be able to upgrade my combine. If we look at the combine that I have, yeah, it's worth absolutely nothing. Yeah, 3,000. So whatever I'm buying, it has to be basically for all the money. Just need something that can do the work faster. Let's just get this guy started as well. I think let's do a couple of headers on the other side, just so we don't run into an issue where the worker is unable to get around the small trees, which I don't want to cut down until they grow. However, I get the sense that trees that are on the map, when you start the map, they don't grow. Which is kind of a shame, but not much I can do about that. If that is the case, I just have to suck it up. And, well, I can cut down the trees, that is, but I won't get much money from it. So I think one more pass here, and then I think I can let the worker do the job for me. I won't do the courseplay worker. I haven't set up the field properly. I did suggest in the courseplay okay, I'm just being stupid here. Let's see. Get into position here. One moment. I don't know if the audio is loud for you, but it is very loud for me. Okay. Okay, let's just get away from here for a bit. So, I did suggest in the courseplay GitHub that an ability to, once you do courseplay, oops, you have to be in a vehicle for that to work. So, there. Oh, there we go. You don't need to be in a vehicle. I just press the wrong buttons. The recording here, once you start and then stop, it's considered to be a complete recording, and that's it. No changes can be done, and that is the field or the area or whatever it is. Well, field, I guess. The only issue is that you can make sharp 90-degree corners, angles. So I suggest you like adding a pause button so you can orient in another direction, and then boom, continue recording, and then you do get your square edges of the field. Because as I mentioned before, I do have some issues when it comes to finding the outlines of the field. Another suggestion I made is using the coordinate system down here. So you are marking these coordinates 1070 by 989, and then you just here 1038 989, so you just write that in, and it sort of builds the course based on your coordinates. Can up maybe, I don't know, 8 coordinates or something, or so you can make like a 8-sided field or 8 turns or whatever. And the third option was be able to edit the points after you place them. I need to change the wheels on this one because I'm going to be driving onto the wheat. Shit stain. That's why you need or want to use courseplay. Sorry for the foul language. Yeah, I have to fire the worker and get this sorted by myself. away you go. I'll sort this out. Any of those three options would allow at least me to make the field looking better and be, in the field. Because if I were to use one of the courseplay workers on any of the fields at 46, they just mow the shit out of the area around it. Even though that's not technically the field. As you can see, if you look at the map here, see this part? Yeah, that's what it's mowing as well. And I just don't need it to do that. I just want it to stick to the field. And if I can make it so it sticks to the field, then that would be great. So you're just jumping to the next field there? Well, thank you, I guess. Not sure why you did that. Maybe even the game AI has some issues with, or game workers have some issues with man-made fields. Don't really know the boundaries of them. It's teething issues. It's not major. I mean, I can work around it easily enough. It's just a bit of a hassle that doesn't really affect that much of anything. So it is what it is. I mean, the mods are great. They really help a lot. And I'm glad that I have them available, and I'm sure a lot of other people like them as well. I mean, they are some of the more popular mods for Farming Sim. And there is some Courseplay auto drive collaboration thing going on. Wait. Okay. NPC driver, don't damage crop when driving on it, which is great. But still, don't drive on a crop. France, okay, that's France over there. I will meet him on the other side. Grab the wheat from him. The integration that is between AutoDrive and Courseplay is that you can sort of do something here. I wish that you could make a course with this, but because this one you can pause as you do recordings, and by pausing you can make your sharp cornering and all that as you see fit, and you can pull the lines and things like that. Don't know if you can actually turn that into a field. That would be great, and if you can, would Courseplay recognize it? Maybe I should look at more tutorials for... Come on. Here we go. For Courseplay and AutoDrive to see. Fill level is at 50%. Should empty out completely now. Thank you. So there is those things, whatever. Yes. I leave this as is for now. I won't bother with it. I will find out if the trees that is planted on the map when you get it or start playing, if those trees will grow, or if it's just the ones you plant yourself. If they won't, I will just get rid of this and possibly turn this into a field like this. Can I? Yeah, I can. I'm not really having anything over here. So if I just extend this like this way, to sort of here or something, maybe here, and then just this way, so it's flush with that field at 25. Then I get another large field here, and if I again do soybeans on it, then that's nice. It's nice. Okay, you need another pass on the other side, which is okay with me because I can drive there. Or are you completely done? This tractor is really struggling pulling anything. I got a sense that the trees won't grow. Okay, France is done. Because these trees hasn't moved at all. I understand that there is some stages or some times when the trees don't move. I did watch a tutorial or a tips and tricks video, or whatever you want to call it, about tree growing and things like that in FS22, and it didn't look like it would grow that well, or it looked like at some stages it wasn't growing at all, some months, and then just shut up. It takes about 2 years or so for the trees to grow fully, maybe 3 years. So I leave them be for now. I can work until I check out and find some conclusive information about whether or not the trees are growing or not. Don't really get much wheat from here, which is totally fine. I'm not doing the wheat to sell, I'm doing it to feed chickens when I get around to having chickens. Didn't take too long to do that small field. Of course, the field size is 0.42, this is 0.89, 0.93. So it's about 4 times as small as the other ones. Another drawback with using a small combine like this and just having one is that if you have to do too much harvesting at the same day, it's going to take too long. So I already have 2 large-ish fields where I need to harvest at the same month. Adding another one would just make it more difficult. Like I can have, let's see, soybeans is done here. What other can I can have sorghum, only useful to feeding animals. I can do grapes, way too expensive. Olives, way too expensive. Poplar grass is, it's a good one. But there is a lot of overlap in terms of the month when the work needs to be done. Or is it not overlap? Is it more same cropping utilized in the same month? Let's put it like that. So that harvested, that wheat field and kind of double the yield of wheat that we have, or the storage of yield, the storage of wheat. Is this one still working? Still at 12,000 liters, but that's a lot of grass. If I were to, so that's 12 to 46, right? Yeah, something like that. If I were to get that from all, like the 4 cuts, that's 1,000,000 liters of silage, which is twice as much as I got last year. And if the pricing stays roughly the same, that would be $200,000. But last time I had to do, I don't know how many trips to the shop to sell it, and that was very, very boring. Just to I didn't enjoy that at all. So I need to get a bigger trailer that can help me transport it. So I may be getting that next time. Something that can handle a heavy load of silage. Because delivering like 16,000 liters at a time when you have 1,000,000, yeah, it's going to take a bit. You know, you're not done in an afternoon, I tell you that. Well, maybe you are. Now I moved slightly closer, or very much closer, so it might be doable. Let's do this side. Got it. Come on. Thank you. Also the bales, I really have no use for them. I could sell them, but I haven't really looked at the price when it's good to sell them. I should probably do that. Also would like to say, please like, subscribe, and comment on my video or videos. I really enjoy making these videos, and I really hope that you enjoy watching me faff about on a farm, pretending like I know what I'm doing, when we all know I'm not that familiar with it. Philip has completed his task. Thank you, Philip. I will go and inspect it later. Please collect your earnings on your way back to wherever you came from. And I will collect these swaths, or this these things. Though there is current bale 1. It's a mod that I installed. I really don't need it here because small fields and small bales, but I just figured it could be fun. To have that around. Get a kind of a sense of accomplishment on how many bales do you get on a field. Do that. And away we go. I am curious to see how much grass I do get from the other two fields now when it's almost only those two fields. Also, let me know what you think of how I do things. Could I do it differently? Could I be more efficient in my way of doing things? Should I be focusing on anything else? Should I not get animals? Should I not do silage? Give me your comments and suggestions. I will take all of them into consideration as I'm playing the game and continuing on with this series. I know the channel is small. Dropped the ball some years back. It's all my fault, but I'm hoping to get the channel to grow. Getting back into things, being a regular uploader of YouTube videos for farming and possibly other games as well. But right now I want to focus on the farming because it's just so much fun. But and I will keep doing it, even if the view count may not be high or there at the time, but hopefully, just like everything else when I started out, it would grow with time. But I need your guys' help to grow because I need to know what it is that you want to see me do compared to what it is that I'm actually doing. If it doesn't match, or anything like that, of course, I'm fully aware of the fact that if the trees won't grow on my land, that's as a finite source of income. Because once the trees are done or down and gone, I can't use that as an emergency fund to make emergency purchases or anything like that whatsoever. It's just like, that's it. You have to rely on your crop. Which is why I hope that the trees will grow, and I know I'm jumping from topic to topic, and why I also want to get another source of income like eggs or sheep. With this baler, I can definitely feed the sheep because I can just make grass bales and still sell enough grass, I believe, per year to make about 100,000 in silage sales. Just got it done in time. Excellent. Here we go. The grass won't really suffer from cutting it when it's raining, I think. I know that the other crop will, but not grass. So let me just continue to work here that Philip failed to complete. Let's see. Bring both of you down. The front one as well. Then I will collect it, and that will be that. One thing before I leave, So I did a test on another map, right? On the mowers. Now, this is the one I use. It's in game. It's vanilla. It's standard, and it allows swath left, right, or center. I tried this one. It's also allowing you to do swathing. However, the swathing is centered on these two. It's not centered in the middle, like combining with this one in the front. So keep that in mind if you're going to purchase it. I mean, this is like half price almost. So keep that in mind if you purchase this, hoping to get one single swath of grass or whatever behind the tractor. It won't happen, even if it's set to swath. If it's widespread, it just looks like it's normal. This one, no swathing whatsoever. This one, I do not know because it's very similar to this in looks. And I mean, it doesn't say. I mean, it looks like it will do some swathing here, but again, it's not centered behind the tractor. I haven't tried the John Deere stuff. Same thing, looks to be there, centered on these cutters. And the last one is this one. I haven't tried it because it takes a ton of power to just operate. But it looks like this one will swath to the center. These conveyor belts here with this additional things to it. Additional 20,000 whatnot. What's this? So just keep that in mind, so you don't end up in a situation where you think you make a bargain and turns out that you didn't, because the device doesn't work as advertised. Anyway, I will continue with what I'm doing here, and I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope I see you in the next episode, where I think I will just continue cutting the grass until it's time to harvest the when I think it's time to harvest the soybeans, which is in October. So I'm doing the cut now, then I'm doing another cut in September, and then we see how much I have in storage, and we can sort of extrapolate roughly how much I get from my two fields here. And then I do another cut of grass in November, but I bring it in October, so we see how much I get from the soybeans. I will not be planting wheat, barley, or canola. Well, maybe I'll do some canola on that small field just to change things up a bit. That would be next month when I don't really have anything else to do. So yeah, I throw some canola in there. Maybe I'll bring in that. We'll see. So we try out the new equipment that I got. Anyway, I won't keep you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope I see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.